So AGL is a decent brand, but I've actually picked up these exact flats. They didn't sell very quickly for me or for very much. So I decided to leave those behind, move on over to some blazers. I am just keeping an eye out for a couple blazers for my own personal closet, for my new side hustle of real estate. Just trying to get a few business casual clothing items that, I can pair with a pair of jeans and some boots and just kind of look a little more put together than my flip-flops and Birkenstocks. So that is why I'm probably going to be looking at the blazers for a bit. And I came across this blazer. It's called The Mind. The tag looked intriguing. It was definitely linen, but the material tag didn't look interesting. I couldn't find anything about it online. And I really honestly didn't care too much just because it was kind of a summer blazer versus a winter blazer. So I left that behind. All right, I'm not finding much and not super excited about the stuff, so I decided to leave, but before I go, I thought I'd show you what I left behind. This is an Angel of the North, which is Anthropologie sweater. It's a size large, it's only $4.99, but it definitely ran a little bit small. I like the buttons on the back, but I just decided to leave it behind. This one I actually was considering to get for myself, but they did have it marked up to $20. It was a Tory Burch. It had these side zippers, which I really liked. The problem with this situation is if I didn't like the fit on me, I probably wouldn't even be able to sell it for much more than that. So when I shop for myself, while that may have been a good deal, without being able to try it on, I just didn't want to take the risk. So I decided to leave that. This is a brand called TNA. And I picked it up a couple times. It was marked at $7. I didn't realize until I was looking at it right here that it did have a spot. It was just kind of a nice fleece for the season, but obviously with that spot, I was going to leave it behind. And then here's an Lafleur dress. I've had some decent luck with this brand, but this was a size extra small. I would have had to kind of fix that tag a little bit. It also felt like it had a little bit of pilling. I'm not sure if that was the style, but yeah, I didn't feel like picking it up, so I left it behind. Before I left, I decided to hop over to the small men's section just to see if there was anything worthwhile in the sweaters just for the season. And the LL Bean kind of looked like a nice style, but it looked a little worn. And I did stumble across this Patagonia, definitely a happy sight. Sadly, they were asking for $10. It was a size extra small men's, and it definitely had some pilling on the front. It was just a risky buy in my opinion. They didn't have any sales at this store. So while I do love picking up Patagonia, I will pass if the condition isn't the best.
Espera un momento. Lauren, give me some more persimmons, please. Before the sale's over. Man.
All right, I'm going to some new thrift stores today, and I struck out at the first one. I've only been in that location once, and I think that was a couple years ago. Then I saw a yard sale sign, and it's a really nice area. Probably those homes are 1 to 5 million easily for like not huge homes. So the yard sale had a little bit of free people and a whole bunch of Coach bags, but she was charging $15 each for each of the Coach bags. If they were a couple dollars, I would have gotten them, but Coach is just not my favorite unless it's vintage or just a really nice leather piece. So I left all of that. And so now I'm going to another new thrift store, not too far away, another nice area. I can't remember the name of it, but it's in a women's club, I think. And so we're gonna go check that out, see if we can find anything. So there's a bit of a glare with the sun, so it's kind of hard to show some of the tags with the labels and the price, but a lot of the prices on these clothing items outside is about $6 to $8. And as you will see, there's not too many exciting brands.
Good morning.
Sadly, none of these bags are really worth even looking at the labels. They were just really dated styles. I could tell by the feel that they weren't great quality. So yeah, nothing good there.
How you guys doing? Okay.
Is it upstairs?
For the Christmas one, yes, it'll be here and upstairs, correct, and in the little house. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So they did have some more clothing behind this little shoe area, and I did browse over there, but there were quite a few people in a small space. The only thing that seemed worthwhile was a Diane von Furstenberg dress that they had marked with the word designer, and they had it marked for $30. So yeah, nothing exciting in this shop either. All right, we're in the suburbs of LA. I made it out here. I'm in LA today to watch one of my nieces at a swim meet. And so I thought I would drop the dog off, do a little thrifting, swim meet, go get the dog. I'm done with these small thrift stores. I actually just made it to a Goodwill. that I've never been to. So let's go see if I can find a few things before the swim meet. So immediately walking into this Goodwill, I just felt like it was very bare. Usually our stores are pretty well stocked, and this one just had so much empty space and so many empty racks that I don't know if they were restocking or something, but it just felt off. So I started with this round rack in the middle, hoping to maybe find a few things. So I don't do a lot of thrifting on Saturdays, and that's what this day was. And I always feel like the thrift stores are a little bit more chaotic with, clothing flung everywhere. And I personally try to always make sure that if I drop something off of a hanger, that I put it back on the hanger, but I don't put everything back on hangers from other people, because then I would just be spending basically time working and not looking through stuff. So that's my personal take. Is I know that thrift stores can be a little crazy, especially on busy days. And so I just try to make sure I leave it as I found it. I decided to take one quick glance at the shoes, but again, I just wasn't excited about the store. So I did end up leaving shortly after this and went over to the swim meet. But after the swim meet, I decided to stop at one more store before grabbing the dog. This was a little bit closer to her daycare and a store I've been to many times. So let's see if we can find anything before the day ends. So here's a brand I occasionally pick up, which is called And Other Stories. That's a line by H&M, and they do have some pretty expensive stuff, and I've done pretty well with it with certain items, but these were just kind of high-rise, basic, skinny jeans. They look like someone had kind of cut the bottom of the pant leg, so I just didn't think it was worth it at full price. Frame denim, I'm really picky with. This Lehigh skinny style doesn't really sell well for me anymore, so it has to be a very current style of this brand for me to pick up, but it does retail for quite a bit. So this is a pair of men's jeans in the women's section. They were a Japanese selvage denim by Gap, and I probably should have picked them up, to be honest. I looked up comps when I was editing this video, and it just looked like I might have been able to get about $40 to $50 for them. But, you win some, you lose some, and it is hard to focus on comps when trying to film in a store. So, yeah. So I decided to hop over to shoes and stumbled across this new brand, Gira Udon, maybe is how you say it, New York. They were a cute style, and they were actually my size. I thought, well, I'll put them in my cart and think about them. But unfortunately, there were some signs of wear on one of the straps, and the comps were very mixed between 20 to 50. So I decided to end up leaving those behind. But they were 50% off the sale price or the sticker price. So it would have been a good deal if they didn't have the flaw. These were a cute pair of Anthropologie shoes. The brand was Leaf Notes. I thought they were good for the season, but they did have some signs of wear on the toes, and the comps were between 11 to 52. So I didn't really want to risk it for full price at $8, so I left those. All right, here's a new designer for me that I had to look up. While the shoes were pretty cute, they did have them marked at $15. And when I looked up comps, many people have these listed for $100, $200, even $300, but many of the comps are $10, $15, and $20. So I definitely didn't think it was worth picking up. These were a pair of Anthropologie sandals that were pretty cute, but they definitely weren't worth $10 to resell. So I left those behind, and I was going to try and show you what what I was leaving behind, and I was just trying to struggle of I didn't have my tripod, and I thought maybe I'll use this mirror, but then the mirror was filthy. Anyways, let's show you what I left behind. All right, I've seen these jeans before, but I couldn't remember the comps. So this is Collusion, which is by ASOS. This is an animal-free venture that's kind of geared towards a younger crowd. And like you can see, the comps are between about 15 to 30. So it definitely wasn't worth it for me. Here's a pair of Reformation jeans. While I do like the button fly, high rise, and I do like the faded black gray color, I don't have the best of luck with Reformation jeans. So for me, it just isn't worth it. So Cool, Kuhl, is one of my favorite brands to pick up. These are kind of a pair of hiking pants. They have a convertible leg, so you can make them capri length. The reason I left these behind was full price at $10, size 4 short. It just wasn't worth it for me, so those were left. This is a pair of Everlane pants. I don't do that well with navy blue stuff, and while the style was right, just kind of a cropped straight leg, I just didn't think it was worth the full price, so I left those as well. So this was another new brand for me called April 77. It looks like this has been sold at Urban Outfitters and ASOS and other places, but I could tell in the pocket there was a little guitar pick, so it was definitely geared towards kind of a musician crowd. But while some people have these marked pretty high, the comps are kind of showing a lot are in the $20 to $30 range resold. So, and it looks like someone cut off the bottom. So I left those behind. All right, it's the next morning and I thought I'd show you what I picked up. I only bought a few things at that last Goodwill, and I did have a 15% off coupon, so each price was brought down a little bit. 2 things are for myself, so I thought I'd start with that. And this is a pair of AG jeans, Adriana Goldschmied. They were full price. They are the mid-rise Stevie Capri. They do have kind of a raw hem, and I just like wearing this style with a pair of ankle boots, and they fit great. So those are for me. This one is also for me. This is a Hobo bag. I love Hobo. They did have this marked up, but I think it was absolutely a great deal for personal use. And I did have the 15% off, so it brought it down to just about $25. There's some light signs of wear, a little bit of like glitter here, and there's like a little bit of, I don't know if you can see, a very faint discoloration right here on this side. But overall, just a really great bag that I can use for lots of things. Okay, so those are the 2 for me. These 2 pairs of shoes, I was very unsure about. I actually don't pick up a lot of Jeffrey Campbell. It's just not one of my favorite styles. But I thought, well, it says limited edition. Also, right here, it says the style name, which is really helpful. And there were 2 that were marked at $11.99 a piece. And when I looked at the style, they're all sold out on Poshmark. So 100% sell-through rate, and many of these were selling right around $50, some up to $60. So I think I'm gonna aim a little high. They are in pretty good shape, very light signs of wear, and overall I was pretty happy. So those were actually right about $10 a piece. I still think if I can get at least $50, maybe $60 for those, it'll be a great deal. So this dress I actually bought thinking I'd try on. This is a Madewell, a size large. I don't know if you can see. So it kind of has this smocked high neck. It's got an elastic waist. It kind of has like a prairie look to it. It's got the elastic on the sleeves and just a nice midi length. This was marked pretty high, but I don't like the fit on me. I usually don't do very well with kind of a high neck, so I'm not gonna keep it, but the comps look pretty good. Some of these are selling 60 to 75. So again, if we look right here, it did cost me, right around $14, but I think my math is somewhere around there. But I thought it was a great size, style, and I think it'll do well. And then we've got another pair of jeans I thought maybe that I'd get for myself. This is Free People. I do not like spending much on Free People, but again, I thought maybe I could try them on. They're kind of a different color. They almost have like a little bit of a like a tan undertone. I don't know if that makes sense. They're just a little long for me and I don't feel like hemming them. And they're also just not my favorite fit. But I don't find this size in Free People as much. So I'm still gonna keep them to resell. They are a good pair of full length jeans, and those ended up costing right around, you know, $8.50. And then the last one I bought to resell was a pair of Lululemon dance pants. These were $10. So with the discount, it brought it down to about $8.50. This is the little logo. These are just the straight leg, but I still do pretty well with the dance pants straight leg. And these are a size 6, the little size dots in there. So that's it. That's my haul.